One of the most well-known stories about George Müller occurred on a winter morning in 1857 at his orphanage in Ashley Down, Bristol. It was breakfast time, and all 300 children were seated at the tables. However, there was no food in the house, not even a piece of bread or any milk for their morning meal. George Müller's orphanage in Bristol, England was known for its extraordinary approach to caring for children during the Victorian era. Unlike most orphanages of the time, Müller ensured that every child received special treatment during Christmas. Christmas celebrations were uniquely different at Müller's orphanage compared to other Victorian institutions. While most orphanages offered modest meals with few presents, Müller's approach was remarkable. All presents donated to the orphanage were shared equally. Every single orphan received at least one small gift. Children learned principles of sharing and gratitude. Müller's faith-based approach to running the orphanage was characterized by extraordinary stories of divine provision. He never directly asked for donations, but relied entirely on prayer. Some notable miracles included providing food for 300 children when the orphanage had no resources, receiving unexpected deliveries of bread from a baker who felt divinely prompted, getting free milk from a milkman whose cart broke down in front of the orphanage. Müller, known for his profound faith and reliance on prayer rather than direct appeals for donations, gathered all the children around the breakfast tables. He asked them to bow their heads, and he prayed, "Dear Father, we thank thee for what thou art going to give us to eat." The situation seemed dire. Empty plates and cups sat on the tables, with no food or drink in sight. Just after the prayer, there was a knock at the door. It was the local baker, who explained that he had been unable to sleep the night before. He felt compelled to bake bread for the orphanage, and had risen at 2 a.m. to prepare 3 batches of fresh bread. He told Müller he felt God was leading him to donate it to the orphanage. Minutes later, a second knock came. This time it was the milkman. His milk cart had broken down right in front of the orphanage. Since the milk would spoil before he could repair his cart, he asked if the orphanage could use the milk. He wanted to donate all of his milk cans to the children. This timing was particularly noteworthy because, in Victorian England, missing a meal was not simply an inconvenience for children in an orphanage. Adequate nutrition was crucial for survival. The arrival of both bread and milk, the basic breakfast staples, at precisely the moment they were needed, was seen as a clear answer to prayer. What makes this story especially significant is that it exemplified Müller's approach to running his orphanages. He never solicited donations or took out loans, instead relying entirely on prayer and faith that God would provide. He kept detailed records of all donations and answers to prayer, documenting over 50,000 specific answers to prayer during his lifetime. Throughout his life, from 1805 to 1898, Müller cared for over 10,000 orphans and established 117 schools.